What's up guys? I've never backed a Kickstarter, but I'm backing this one. If you're a fan of old school RPGs, especially the ones that came out in the mid 90s, maybe late 90s on the PS1, then I have something really exciting to share with you. I'm talking about Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes by Rabbit and Bear Studios. But before we get started on that game, I need to bring you back to the 90s. With a little series called Suikoden, or Suikoden as some people like to call it. Suikoden 1 and 2 are the traditional turn-based Japanese RPGs on the PS1. They have excellent gameplay, impressive visuals, one of the very best soundtracks I've ever heard in any video game. One of the main draws of the Suikoden series is the ability to recruit 108 characters. Suikoden 2 built on that with more impressive visuals, an even more engaging storyline, and once again it goes back into recruiting over 100 characters. So these games were jam-packed full of content. Why is it important that I bring up these games that came out over 2 decades ago? Because the team behind the Suikoden series have now created Rabbit and Bear Studios. This is a huge passion project for them, and they want to create those types of games that they made back in the day, again today with modern hardware. And Kickstarter is a good platform to get that done. We all saw how that turned out with Koji Igarashi and his Bloodstained series. We got 2 excellent games that were released that may not have been if not for Kickstarter. Let's talk about a couple of things that the Kickstarter is offering to show you why I'm so excited for this, besides having that original team on board creating the game. The Kickstarter is in its final week with only a few more days to go. Its goal was originally $505,000 and it's earned over $3.6 million. We got just over 38,000 backers, including myself. I went for the digital version, which is only going to cost around $38, which is amazing considering that the original games came out at $50 on the PlayStation 1, so to get this at only $38 is a steal. They have all their social media on here, and they've met a ton of their stretch goals, to include duels, which unlocks the ability to take on specific characters in one-on-one battles, a card battle mode, which is what I'm really excited about if it's anything like the Final Fantasy VIII card system, a ranking mode which gives you more statistics on the characters that you're using, theater system, character 10, and a backstory novel. The game is going to have a rebuilding the town aspect, which is apparently a social game that you can play with your fellow Kickstarter backers. The game will be released for PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and whatever the new generation of the Nintendo hardware will be. And once again, the story and dialogue is going to be created by Yoshitaka Murayama, who wrote the scripts for Suikoden 1 and 2. Some of the characters involved, we have Noah. Apparently his favorite food is any dish with meat. That very much appeals to me. You got Sane Kessling, looks to be the proper knight character. Marissa, who is a guardian who watches over the forest. Leon, a 16-year-old martial arts dojo owner. One of the characters I'm really into is Gar here, who is a mercenary at 32 years old. Then you have Melridge, who is a scholar of natural history. And Mio, a 27-year-old swordswoman who hails from the Far East. Picture of the enemies that we could be seeing, like a Cerberus over there, multiple dragons, and who knows what all these other things are. So that alone was enough to get me interested into Kickstarter. But then I saw some gameplay. Then it took me about 5 seconds to jump on my computer and pledge into it. Here's a look at some of the town gameplay. I really love that the game is going to be a mix of 2D and 3D, really making it a more modern JRPG. And the town is bustling. Look at all these people. The clip doesn't give us a lot to go on, but if this is just a small piece of what they're planning, then I'm on board. How about the battles? It is turn-based combat, and this looks strikingly similar to a couple other games that we've talked about in this video. And then I saw a boss battle, and woke up 2 days later. Just from that battle, I want to find out what's going on. Why did that squid find it so important to crash through that cave to get to those guys? Then you see everybody flying up, attacking him head on. The mage is doing his thing with his paintbrush. When they pull this off, this is going to be one of the most impressive looking games I've ever seen of this style. It looks insane. And think of how many characters are going to be involved. Again, they've said over 100. I think they're at 110 now, but definitely over 100 characters included with this. So there is a lot going on with this game. If you're into these types of traditional RPGs, I highly suggest you back this Kickstarter. I'm not getting anything for it. They haven't contacted me. They don't know who I am. I just thought this was something that if you guys were fans of these games just as I was back in the 90s, that you want to jump on board at only $38. So that's it. I'll have a link in my description to the Kickstarter. I hope you guys consider it. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the game. Do you think it's for you? Do you think that, you don't trust Kickstarter campaigns all that much and you're not really comfortable with it and you'll wait till it actually releases? Which, by the way, is in 2.5 years. This is not coming out anytime soon, which worked for me because I still need to complete Suikoden 2. That's all I got for you guys. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is the part of the video where I thank those users who support the channel through YouTube memberships and Patreon. Jordy Alex, John Westby, Rick67, Dor, Travis Morton, Jason Hallbrooks, Geode, Mike Muniz, Sam Torres, Yaroslav Orudzov, Andre G, Den Cardoso, James Burkhart, Red Silvers, Craig Livesley, Lynn Mayer, Christopher Wills, and Batman.